start to creep in after frolicking the night before. So welcome everyone. And I think for those of you who are coming in out in the foyer there's another dining room set up for you. And I want to welcome each and every one of you this morning back home. Today we are live streaming for those alumni who cannot be with us, and we will be also taping this. So this will be something that we will stay on script for, so we have a lot of people to celebrate, and I'm just thrilled, more than I can tell you, that you are back here on campus, and it truly energizes all of us. I think you may have met me before, but my name is Mary Pope Hudson. And I'm the proud member of the class of '83 of Briar College. I'm also your Vice President of Alumni Relations, Development, and Communications. And we have had just a great ride together over the last 5.5 years. And I'm just thrilled personally to see each and every one of you after our amazing year that we've all encountered. You have no idea what has gone into this reunion in terms of thinking through how could we make sure that we have a safe experience with each and every one of you? How could we make sure that we didn't miss another year, that we were together? And so for those of you who are joining virtually, hello, and you are here with us in spirit, and I want to get everybody to lift a glass and say, welcome home. So it is truly a privilege to be with all of you and celebrate 22 reunion classes. While we also celebrate our collective reunion for the college that has produced extraordinary women for over 115 years, we have today 293 family members attending reunion with a total of 231 alumni from 33 states. There are 41 classes represented with over 8 decades of Briar women. Isn't that truly remarkable? As you know, we gather here every year to celebrate our college, its mission, this place, this very special place that needs all of us. This college is part of our inheritance that we all have the privilege to protect in perpetuity. In a moment, President Wu will share with us the state of the college, the incredible progress we are making after her 4th year, and her vision for Briar. We are so fortunate to have her at the helm and leading the way, and I'm happy to say, it's okay with the current board members here, that this board has offered her another 5-year term, and she has said yes. Before we get started, there are many we would like to recognize. So let me start by asking any former board members of Briar College who are with us this weekend to please stand and be recognized as I call your name. Penny Zara, class of '75. Julie Brooke Davis, class of '81. Stay standing, ladies. Michaela English, class of '71. Fran Ferguson, class of '80. Martha Fruhoff, class of '80. Beth Connor Pace, class of '86. Kathy Garcia Pegues, class of '71. Patty Powell Pusey, class of '60. Ellen Harrison Saunders, class of '75. B. Newman Thayer, class of '61. Jane Tapman Walker, class of '60. L. Warner, class of '85. And of course, our current board members, Carol McMurtry Fowler, class of 57, Mimi Foss, class of 71, Michelle O'Neill, class of 85, and our very newest board member, Norma Valentine, class of 93. Thanks to all of you and your selfless dedication to our institution. And our institution is making great strides into the future, as you all know. Today, I also want to recognize members of the Alumni Alliance leadership, past and present, who have and are supporting the engagement of all of our 14,000 alumni. Will you stand and be recognized as I call your names, and please hold your applause to the end if you can. Jane Dewar, class of 82. Jess Hively, class of 97. Courtney Hurt, class of 2010. Catherine Laufer, 96. Courtney Lewandowski, class of 2012. Milena McCone, class of 2011. Sarah Reedy Ferguson, class of 96. Ellen Harrison Saunders, class of 75. Vicki Schroeder, class of 87. Norma Valentine, class of 93. Elle Warner, class of 85. And Catherine Young, class of 91. Thank you all so much. I'd like to say that it is a particular honor for all of us at the college to work with our amazing volunteers and their leaders who've donated their time over the last year with admissions, career planning, development, marketing, sweet work weeks, clubs and classes, and more. This engagement paradigm is a model for the country in an alumni engagement through seamlessly integrated alliance, and now being emulated by many other colleges that are remaking themselves. So please join me again in thanking them for all that they have done. So to those of you who have helped us raise resources through many calls, emails, text messages, events, written thank yous, or made a financial investment in our college, we can never thank you enough for your generosity and commitment to take Sweet Briar toward a place of continued sustainability. For the next century, your gifts in the last 6 years alone have exceeded $91 million. Every gift of time and treasure truly matters. We have had a number of challenges over these last 2 years during the pandemic, from keeping alumni engaged to conveying needs, not wants, in terms of financial support, while always keeping our optimism, truly our optimism, flowing through a global pandemic. You are the ones who have sustained us as we have navigated the second major challenge to the college in this century. Now, you are the ones who will lead us forward. Every day, we are truly grateful for the incredible thought and active leadership of our alumni who have given heart and soul to this college, and I can never punctuate that enough. Now it is my honor today to be able to introduce you to a woman who has been at the forefront of leading change, a woman now internationally recognized as the trailblazer in colleges and universities, and in particular for remaking a liberal arts college, our college. Meredith Wu is fearless. She is courageous and strategic, utilizing her career as an academician, as the Dean of the University of Michigan and Dean of the University of Virginia, as well as a leading global higher education programs manager for a foundation from London and Budapest and worldwide. She has brought to Sweet Briar her uncanny will and expertise to make Sweet Briar truly distinctive and incomparable. She's worked with the faculty, ushering in academic repositioning, a rebranding, a tuition reset, right-sizing the budget and making one Sweet Briar a priority. She is someone who we all deeply admire and who has such an amazing heart and truly loves Sweet Briar. It is my great pleasure to introduce Sweet Briar's 13th president, Meredith Wu. Thank you.
It's incredible to see this room so crowded. You know, during the pandemic, we ran the college business as usual, except that this whole area was turned into a plexiglass wonderland. As you know, Anne, when you come in for breakfast, you might see 3 students eating, and you know, every table had plexiglass barrier, but we got through. And I want to talk to you a little bit about this past year. We've been talking a lot last couple of days about our aspirations, but let's talk about what this past year was like during the global pandemic. It actually turned out to be a good year for us. We are the kind of people that do well because we can't do worse. So during the pandemic, we went through a what you call reaffirmation of our accreditation by an accrediting agency called SACS, that's Southern Association of Colleges and Universities. You know, in America, you have regional accreditation agencies, and of them, SACS, the southern one, is considered the most thorough and bureaucratic. And what that process is like is you go through it every 10 years, and you might liken it to a kind of really extensive proctology. I mean, they check everything. The reason why this is so painful for a small college is because what they do to us is exactly the same as what they do to Ohio State. We produce same amount of documents on same amount of stuff that they request information on. It added up to be about 50,000 pages of documents that we had to produce over the last year. And so I'm very happy to say that the process came to an end. And they said, great, you guys done really well. And so I'm really glad that the community came together and completed the process, which will be only officially announced in December. The only 2 areas where they made recommendation, but they're inconsequential, is they said, you really are running your library with a skeleton crew, hire 1 more person. So, done. We did that. And then the other thing was, well, there are a couple classes that didn't get evaluated for effectiveness of outcome, and that was in 2015. So I said, well, not sure what we can do about it, but we'll do our best. And so, you know, that was really good news. We were worried about it because there were a lot that were missing in our documentation going back to 2014, 15, and then there was a lot of confusion after 2015. But we somehow managed to document everything, and especially on the financial front, they said we were in good shape. As a matter of fact, we had the auditors come through this year. We finished our audit this year, and it is 100% clean with no material weaknesses reported. It's the first time since 2015 that we had a clean report, no weaknesses of any kind. And it may be the first time even going back prior to 2015. For 3 years in a row now, our Standard & Poor's has upgraded our bond rating. So it's been going up very steadily, and so we are very pleased with it. Doesn't mean that we're AAA, but still, you know, each year we're going up, and that is very good. Our budget is balanced. We don't take money out of the endowment except for 5% from the interest accrued on the endowment, which usually goes to the college operation. Other than that, we have not gone to the endowment. We have not even gone to the money that the Attorney General in 2015 said that you can have it there as your rainy day fund as you grow your enrollment. We didn't have to dip into that this past year. In fact, amazingly, in the year of the pandemic, we actually ended up with a $1.3 million surplus. You know, that's actually pretty amazing because that's on top of all the extraordinary expenses that we incurred as the result of the pandemic, one of which is building a very large, you might have seen this, very large health clinic on the ground floor of the chapel. And then there were a lot of other expenses, you know, from the middle of March, you know, we had to send the students home until the fall. And so there was a loss in revenue in the form of room and board. But we more than, with your help, covered for those expenses and ended up looking pretty good. And you know, life is kind of funny. We always lament the fact that we are very small. But because we're very small, we are able to get payroll protection program benefits from the federal government. Other schools can't take advantage of it, but we could. So that helped. And so, you know, between the audits, clean audit, and improving bond rating, balanced the budget with a surplus, and with the successful accreditation process, which we don't have to worry about for 10 more years. You know, I think that pandemic or no, I think we ended up doing pretty well. This doesn't mean that it's easy sail or easy going. It's still very, very hard. We are working entire campus community extremely hard, you know, rebuilding the college brick by brick. And you know, there are a lot of bricks here. And you know, the buildings and grounds require tremendous care and attention, which somehow we do even with a skeleton crew, but I think it reflects the pride that the community has. Every time a visitor comes, I always know what they're gonna ask and what they're gonna say. They say, how do you keep this up? It's a lot of work, but somehow we do because of the pride, I believe, that we have in our community. Especially in the year of the pandemic, we enjoyed tremendously good report and goodwill coming from every corner in the country. Part of it has to do with the amazing communications effort on the part of these folks. And Amy, you are there, the head of communications group. But I also think that a large part of it has to do with the goodwill that the nation has toward a community of women who just will never take no for an answer. You know, the odds against Sweet Briar were huge. I don't really blame the folks that threw in the towel in 2015 if you thought, you know, logically, conventionally, with the knowledge you have about higher education and the challenges ahead for Sweet Briar, I can see why they made the judgment call that they did, right? But except that what's in the DNA of our women here is we go left when everybody goes right. We say yes when people say no. And so that's kind of where we are. with such goodwill of press in the nation, locally and nationally, I think this is really good time to seize the day. You know, after maybe a century of women's movement, voting rights, and maybe half a century of accelerated effort for gender equality, we're now back to that spot once again, where women are saying equality can't wait. You know, women have been hit particularly hard through the pandemic. Labor participation on the part of women is back to where it was 40 years ago. You know, and so now you have a resurgence of that movement about what is true equality, what is equity, what should be the direction of women's movement. There is a great demand springing in the nation, which I think will continue, and I think we are probably very well poised. And there is, half a century after the first Earth Day, in 1970, 71, around that time, and I think about 70 years after the publication of Rachel Carson's Silent Spring, there is really renewed recognition deep down in the core of our soul that something is truly wrong with our environment. You know, when you got the kind of heat you have in the West, when you hear Siberia burning, right, and you got flooding in Germany, there is now a real push toward environmental justice. Once again, I feel that the zeitgeist of the age is such, there is room for great visibility, recognition, and contribution on the part of Sweet Briar for the benefit of our country and the world. And so we kind of feel like time is on our side in so many ways. And given what we have, and we know that we have certain things that nobody can take away from us. We have the history, we have you, we have tradition, we have the legacy of leadership, and we are all women. Increasingly, that's becoming very distinctive and rare. There are less than 30 women's colleges left in this country. Justin just threw in the towel, and the venerable college in the West, Mills, has thrown in the towel. You hang around long enough, you suddenly become very useful and valuable. So we are valuable in that sense, having that setting. And, you know, and once again, you know, seizing the zeitgeist, we talked in the last couple days about the areas that we want to be known for in the national psyche. When people are having a conversation about higher education or colleges in the kitchen in the country, I want mothers and fathers and children to kind of come across the name Sweet Briar and say, is that the school for women that produces really strong women? Something about Sweet Briar's name to be associated with female strength. I'm thinking, we can probably get there. For people to say in their kitchen, isn't that the school that's really beautiful? And that's something for sustainability, really well known for it. Isn't that where women do farming, smart farming? Right? We want to be known for that. We also want people to say, that's a small school with an engineering program where women go, and then they end up being really smart engineers. And, you know, I was telling the folks yesterday that last year we sent 2 women graduates to Pasadena to Jet Propulsion Lab to join the Mars program. You know, one kid came from Oregon. She had no idea she was going to be an engineer because her math was below 550 SAT. And we said, you know what? We'll teach you math while we get you to be an engineer. And she got to be an engineer, and she is just flourishing in Pasadena. And so, you know, these are some of the areas that we want to be known for. And our project for the next 5-6 years is known as 4+1. Emphasis on women leadership, defining leadership with terribly important emphasis on leveraging the power of others, collaborating, cooperating, and giving credit to other people, not to themselves. Very female kind of leadership. We're focused on that engineering program to be known as a kind of engineering program for women that empowers them, that has a distinctive pedagogy because we are small class, project-based, hands-on, one-on-one, and with an interesting curriculum which takes place in the context of a liberal arts college. And we want to be known for the sustainability culture and ethics. We already talked about it in the last couple days with various groups of the alumni here, but anything worth emphasizing is worth overemphasizing. So I'll say that we want to combine academics of environmental sustainability with co-curricular activities, extracurricular activities, with student life, and with dining services, with wellness programs, and with athletics, to make sure that sustainability becomes our cult, our religion, our ethics. Because this is what women do. We sustain ourselves, we sustain our families, we sustain our societies, we sustain our world, and we sustain our future. And so why won't we make it so much more pronounced in the next few years going forward? And we want to do all that in a place that I think is really spectacular. You know, Virginia Piedmont is a beautiful place like nothing else. And so, you know, for 100 years, we lived in a rather modest ways in this spectacularly beautiful place, sometimes without drawing a whole lot of attention to ourselves. But when you think about this area, this probably is the last most beautiful remaining area in Virginia that's perhaps not quite as celebrated. You know, when you think about this area as being just between Lynchburg and Charlottesville, spectacular. We got a college, museum, galleries, we got the dells, we got the lakes, we got the vineyards, we got wildflower meadows, we got apiary, and we have a hotel, we got a conference center, we got tennis courts, we got state-of-the-art athletics facilities. We have the last of Sam Snead's golf course across the street adjacent to our land, and we have the nation's second largest artist colony in the form of VCCA across the street. This is a cultural corridor. It just didn't have a name before, and we didn't connect the dots. No place like this. You know, they built this incredible development in Nelson County called Wintergreen. And then they bring people from outside, they have, you know, concerts. But we already have everything in place. And so why are we thinking about this location as being something really useful and important, potentially down the road for us? Because this beautiful campus is not really used for 3 months out of a year. So why do we keep this beautiful campus vacant 1/4 of a year? We could utilize it, and we could utilize it more for the public if we are better known. So that's kind of another area where we are putting a lot of emphasis on for the next 5 years or so. It'll be a long-term proposition. I mean, when you think about Chautauqua in New York State, that took 100 years to develop. But, you know, 100 years, well, but you gotta start sometime. But we got all the parts that Chautauqua didn't have 100 years ago, so I think we can probably get there faster than Chautauqua did. And finally, I wanna talk about something which is probably not fashionable, but once again, I think that the zeitgeist and the market is in our favor. A lot of schools are shutting down their equestrian programs. I also think there's an opportunity for us. Smith College shut down their equestrian program, right? Intermont a while back closed down. And Randolph College last year shut down their equestrian program. I think it's great. You stay long enough, you become a rare commodity once again. The number of our equestrian students coming in doubled this year. So I think we got like 90 equestrians coming in. So that's great. You know, equestrian is in our blood. This is the oldest equestrian program in the nation. And it's the best in Division III. We're the best in Division III, hands down. Nobody even comes close. That means among liberal arts colleges, we're the only Division III team competing in Division I. And we're in top 10 in Division I. We go head to head with MSU, with the University of Georgia, with schools like SCAD, with five-star hotels for horses, you know. But we do what we can. We're proud of our equestrian team. You know, we don't care if the rest of the world is shutting down their equestrian programs. We think women on horseback is a beautiful sight. And we think it's probably a very good training for leadership for women for a number of reasons. And so we will continue to invest. We invested last year in the equestrian program. We, as you might have seen, renovated all of our stalls. I thought it was going to be cheap to do it. It was really expensive. We had to bring everything down to the studs and you know, rebuild it. But what eventuated was very clean, dignified, and functional space for the horses and for our students. And down the road, we'll have to do the ceiling of the equestrian ring there. But we're keeping an eye on this, and we were very pleased this year that the equestrian team did so well as they did, winning a championship in a division with a long name, whatever, in the national thing. They went to Waco and got that. And then our doubles team, tennis team also went to the nationals, NCAA, and so this was a good year all around. And so that's my brief report about how we did this past year, and you know, we're bringing in over 200 students, and we kind of feel we're not concerned that this might be a fluke year. We know we can bring in more you know, next year and the year after. We know what's making the difference. What's making the difference is fundamentals. You know, school is getting better. We are doing everything better. Buildings are looking better. Dorms are cleaner. Food's better. Classes are good. Professors are energized. And that's what really matters. There is no trick to increasing enrollment, but soundness of the education and living condition for our students. And so we say onward. Thank you.
Thank you, President Wu, for your extraordinary leadership over the last 4 years and truly for lifting our sights towards what is possible, to strive to make Sweet Briar what it was always meant to be. And in keeping with your vision of excellence for the college, we recognize now distinctive accomplishments of our fellow alumni who are truly change agents in their communities and working on behalf of the college. Now I'd like to turn it over to Claire Dennison Griffith. You all know Claire from the class of 1980, who also was my tour guide when I came to Sweet Briar. Senior Director of Alumni Relations and Development for Sweet Briar, who is a leader for all alumni, for all of you, for alumni engagement, and runs the day-to-day operations of our office. She leads alumni relations in partnership with the Alumni Alliance and all of the activities to increase engagement, along with Rachel Peach, who has designed this whole weekend, by the way. and our other 15 team members who have this pink lanyard on. So I want you to know we are all working for you. And now I'll turn it over to Claire. Claire?
President Wu, it's NCEA. With writing, you have to memorize so many letters. We have an IHSA team, an NCEA team, and an ODAC team. So anyway, and they all do really well. Okay, I have the distinct pleasure of talking about and naming the outstanding, awarding the Outstanding Alumna Award. First, we present the Outstanding Alumna Award. This award was created to honor alumni in recognition of their outstanding service to Sweetbriar in a volunteer capacity. What happens when you put a retired physician, a long-serving teacher, and an expert business analyst together? You have the Sweet Work Week's dream team. This year's recipients are none other than Ann Gately, class of 70, Kathy Garcia Pegues, class of 71, and we certainly couldn't leave behind Vicki Schroeder, class of 87. For close to 7 years, they have led the now famous Sweet Work Weeks, from organization to planning to implementation. A Sweetbriar invention from alumni 7 years ago, created by alumni who recognized they could give back to the college by nurturing it back into a shining campus ready for students. These 3 leaders and many others stepped up and organized what is now a yearly event, bringing close to 100 alumni to campus every summer. In the past 7 years, all 7 dormitories have been painted, gardens planted, mulched, and weeded. A little poison ivy got in the mix, right, Kate? Mm-hmm. They've power washed steps, benches, sidewalks, and even painted mini fire hydrants around the campus. With boundless enthusiasm, these 3 alumni magnify their love and care for this college. We can never thank them enough. Here's just a little bit more about each one of them. A full story of each of these wonderful women will be in the Fall Alumni Magazine. Ann Gately. Ann Gately grew up in Wichita Falls, Texas, and was highly influenced by the Prothrow family to attend Sweetbriar. She attended St. Stephen's Episcopal High School in Austin, where I also attended high school 10 years later. And the teacher there that was an alum of Sweetbriar said, "I think you should look at Sweetbriar. It's a special place for special girls." But she said, there is an alum that's already there, and her name is Ann Gately. So I want you to go to Sweetbriar and try to be like Ann Gately. So I'm still trying to be like Ann Gately. Ann earned a degree in biology excuse me, in 1970, and then went on to the University of Texas at San Antonio Medical School, graduating in 1977. Dr. Gately was a sports medicine specialist in Albuquerque, New Mexico, as a team doctor for the University of New Mexico Lobos, who are members of the Mountain West Conference, which is important out in Texas and New Mexico in that area, and as the residency program director for internal medicine at the School of Medicine. She has over 44 years of experience in the medical field. She also, which I dug up and was interested to know, she's also co-authored the book, It's in the Bag, a practical guide to the team physician's medical supplies while on the road. We'll have to get a copy for our people here. In 2009, the Ann Gately MD Internal Medicine Residence Fund was established to honor her retirement and to ensure that her legacy of bringing the best to the University of New Mexico and doing the best for the residents continued. Along with Katie McCordle-Webb, Ann has tirelessly, as you know, been a class fund agent leading up to your 50th reunion, which, as you know, was extended by a year. Thank you, Ann, for all the work and support and your true sweat equity for Sweetbriar. Okay, now on to Joy Kathy Garcia Pegues. You found out all kinds of things when you do these things. Kathy Pegues received her degree in English in 1971 and received an MEd from the University of Virginia in 1974. She was an English teacher and educational consultant and taught language arts in grades 6 through 12 for over 20 years and is listed in Who's Who in American Education. Prior to teaching, Kathy worked as a proofreader for the National Geographic Society. Kathy has served as an emeriti trustee and a former board member of the board of directors, and she was also president of the Alumni Association. During her years at Sweetbriar, she was a Sweet Tone, Chung Mung, and member of the writing team. Kathy has been responsible for recruiting at least 13 students to Sweetbriar over the years, including her daughter, Emily, class of 2000. She is currently her class's co-president and is here celebrating her 50th reunion. Kathy, and we certainly can't leave out John, have been on the leadership team for Sweet Work Weeks since the start in 2015 and have truly scoured almost every inch of this campus. Over the years, Kathy's favorite project has been working in Daisy's garden, especially getting it ready for Virginia Garden Week. But this year, she got the most satisfaction working in the Bloy Memorial Garden behind Memorial Chapel at the entrance to the new health center, so the garden would look inviting to students coming to the new center. And you're going to be able to see that this afternoon. It'll be on tour. She and John planted almost 300 daffodil bulbs in the Bloy Garden and near the traffic circle, spreading beauty and joy all over campus. We are indebted to Kathy and John for their tireless work for the college over these 50 years, and especially for the last 7 summers, making sure this campus looked its very best. Thank you, Kathy. Vicki Ann Schroeder, our girl from Minnesota. Vicki earned a dual degree in math, computer science, and technical theater studies in 1987. She was a member of Paints and Patches, an honor guide on the softball club, and SWEBOP, to name a few. She left Sweetbriar and went to work for Target as a senior supervisor and business analyst, overseeing energy management processes and programs. She was also a senior business analyst for the J&B Group and is currently working as a strategic analyst and inventory manager for a startup retail clothing business with another Sweetbriar alum, actually my classmate. She has been described as a creative problem solver like the best vixens are, and always has a fresh take and future-forward solution to issues and challenges in this COVID environment that has been priceless. We are so grateful to Vicki for her organizational skills. If you've ever seen a room be painted by Vicki, there are Post-it notes of different colors that say, this is still left to be done over here, this will be done here, this has been done, but she coordinated the painting of 200 rooms in the summer of 2017. You can imagine when President Wu said, we got to repaint these dorms, and we said, Sweet Work Weeks will do it. And you know, there were a lot of wide eyes saying, are they really going to get finished? Are they really going to do it? And they finished early, and they did such a good job that then they started saying, well, let's put some more things on the project list. But anyway, then she and her team got the rest of the dorms done the next summer. Thank you, Vicki, for your continued leadership, patience, particularly with the college, and amazing hard work. Would you like to say something, just a brief word? Come on.
First and foremost, please come to Sweet Work Weeks next year. We have plenty to do. As the president talked about, the buildings are something we want to continue to enhance and make better. And I will put you to work no matter what, and we'll teach you power washing or such. One of my best memories was the first year President Wu was here, and I had the opportunity to show her how to power wash. And then to stand back and say, hey, the president is power washing the steps and such. But Sweet Work Week started with some alums who are local and really felt the need to liven up the campus after everything. And those of us who arrived, we just continued the tradition. And it means so much because, you know, your hands can get a lot done. And it's wonderful to give back to this college in that format. And we have over 450 people in the last 7 years who've participated. So let's increase that. So thank you.
I didn't really prepare a speech, and I'm kind of excited because May Court was still in existence when I was a sweeper, and I never was on the court, but I think I'm going to get some flowers.
You said you got new overalls for the occasion.
I did. I got new overalls. And actually, I'm just going to say that I think I speak for all three of us. We're accepting this for all of us that did Sweet Work Weeks, tirelessly toiling during the day and tirelessly partying during the, in the evening. And it gave us the opportunity to find out that Sweet Briar graduates have an integral, consistent motif that goes through our lives that transcends from one decade to the other. And it's a very wonderful experience, and you should all come. You become more intimate, acquainted with your college when you find things behind bushes that, at any rate, but it is an opportunity, and once again, I echo what Vicki had to say. Please come and join us. It's a lot of fun, and you do a lot. Thank you.
It's really hard to follow Dr. Gately and the overlord. I'll just say that while we are the public faces of Sweet Work Weeks, it's the many hands that come every year that have made this a real family event and real family. I mean, they bring their families. And we have a wonderful time. I'm so glad Clara mentioned my family because they've been integral. So thank you.
We won't be this clean the rest of the week.
Yeah, right.
This way.
Oh, we have to go down this way.
Safer. Congratulations, ladies, one more time. Let's give it up. And for all Sweet Work Weeks in the audience, for those of you who've come to Sweet Work Weeks, can you please raise your hands so we can see all the volunteers? Thank you. Now it's time for the Distinguished Alumna Award. It was created to honor alumni who have brought distinction to themselves and to Sweet Briar through outstanding accomplishment in a volunteer or professional capacity. The 2020 recipient of the Distinguished Alumna Award is Lucy Martin Giannino, class of 1960. I think Lucy may be joining us on the live stream, so congratulations, Lucy. According to Lucy's classmates, her time at Sweetbriar was marked by excellence. She excelled in drama, as well as in giving her time and energy to Sweetbriar activities, from the news and the Briar Patch to being junior class president. One of her classmates, Elizabeth Meade Howard, said it best. Lucy Martin Giannino always gives her all. Whether on or off the stage, whether for family or friends, Lucy pursued an acting career that has seen her on television, film, and the New York theater. She starred in the soap opera The Edge of Night and was understudy to Lynn Redgrave in The Constant Wife. She is known for The Producers, 2005, Person of Interest, 2011, and numerous appearances on Law and Order. When she's not in front of the camera, she's a busy New York realtor. Lucy also gives back to her community, working with mental health organizations and substance abuse programs in her local area. However, nothing matches her service to Sweetbriar. As a class president, she truly gives her class everything she has, whether she's on Zoom with them or writing one of her trademark update emails to her quote-unquote dear ones. In 2015, Lucy once again agreed to be class president, and Elizabeth said she's led the charge with youthful humor, vigor, and unflailing affection. She's the mother of 3 grown children and many grandchildren whom she welcomes in all seasons. She's dyed her hair purple and promises not to retire. So there you go. That's bold, right? So congratulations to you, Lucy. And since Lucy is unable to be here with us today, we will plan a celebration in New York City this fall to honor her there. Please join me in a round of applause for Lucy. Also this year, we have another very special recognition for the Distinguished Alumna Award, and I will direct you all to the screen up here so you can see our alumni on the screen. The 2021 Distinguished Alumna Award goes to Nan Stewart, a truly entrepreneurial businesswoman who has also performed humanitarian feats that have taken care of people and animals through disaster response. As a founder of Code 3 Associates, a nonprofit dedicated to providing professional training for first responders and emergency assistance to pets and livestock affected by natural disasters, she has been intimately involved in the evolution also of the Colorado State University Animal Cancer Center. She has established the first endowed chair in oncology to support the development of surgical teaching models for veterinary students. She's acted as a board member of the Humane Society and helped to create numerous other companies. To say that Nan is a visionary is an understatement. She has also served as a Foxcroft board member, and I see Barbara Connor here, and also a very active alumna at Foxcroft School. Sadly, Nan could not be with us today, but she will be back on campus in September, and I think you might be on the live stream right now as we speak, Nan, so will everyone join me in a round of applause for Nan Stewart. Now we turn to another tradition, as we do every year when we recognize our reunion classes, their annual giving to the college and present those awards that have truly made a huge difference to the college, particularly in these challenging years. I'm delighted to present the Reunion Giving Participation and Attendance Awards but I would like to ask that Ellen Saunders join us, the decade chair leader for the classes, and Katie Hearn, one of the 2 National Reunion co-chairs. It's my honor to announce the Nancy Dowd Burton 1946 Award. Nancy was the epitome of alumni engagement. In her senior yearbook, her classmates noted that she had enthusiasm for everything. Nancy, along with Gladys Horton and Elizabeth Wood, created the Boxwood Circle Giving Society, which recognizes our donors who give $2,500 and above to Sweetbriar annually. This award recognizes the reunion class with the highest giving in a fiscal year. For the 2020 reunion, we are pleased to announce that the class of 1960 reached the highest giving of any reunion class with a total drumbeat of $831,842. Will the members of the class of 1960 stand and be recognized? For the 2021 reunion, we are pleased to announce that the class of 1966 reached the highest giving of any reunion class with a total of $1.50377. $1 million. Will the members of class of 66 please stand and be recognized? And will you all please come to the stage to receive your bowl, both classes. And come this way where you see the stairs, please. That is truly remarkable in
Linda,
one year.
Linda, come on up.
Can you sneak by?
Just come on up.
There we go, right along here. Claylee, will you put that other one back up again so we can see 2020, 1960, and 2021. Congratulations, you all. Smile for the camera. Here's Cassie. Right here. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Now the class of 66. And thank you all for bearing with us. We're, as you know, handling 2 reunion class years of 22 classes from 2 reunions. Congratulations, you all. Now the Centennial Award is given to the reunion class with the largest total giving to all funds of the college, restricted and unrestricted, over the last 5 years since their last reunion. For the 2020 reunion, it is my pleasure to announce that the amazing class of 1960 has given a total in the last 5 years of $4.2 million to the college. You want to take a picture later? And if that's not enough, for the 2021 reunion, we are pleased to announce that the class of 1966 has given a total of $3.4 million to the college over the last 5 years. $7.6 million. It's just truly remarkable, and we're going to take your pictures right after Convocation so we don't have to keep coming back up. Thank you so much. I'd also like to recognize our visionary donor classes. 4 years ago, we created a new award to recognize those classes who've made collective gifts of over $1 million to the annual fund. These classes, kicking it off as the first class to reach $1 million in 2014, the class of 1964. In 2015, the class of 1985. In 2016, the classes of 1960, 1966, 1972, and 1975. In 2017, the classes of 1957, 1972 again, and 1985 again. In 2018, the classes of 1963 and 1954. In 2019, the class of 1985 again. In 2020, the class of 1963 again. And now, in 2021, the classes of 1960, 1963, 1966, and 1972. Isn't that remarkable? 4 classes giving over $1 million to the college. We will have a photo after this convocation for everyone. And please, class leaders, come here so we can take those on the stage. Thank you. Now on to a very special award. The Nancy Godwin Baldwin 1957 Award is named for Sweetbriar's longtime director of admissions, who we all love dearly. Many of us remember Nancy, who welcomed us to Sweetbriar and let us in, even though we probably didn't have the scores, as prospective students and opened the gates to our first year on Sweetbriar's campus. Later, Nancy was the editor of the Alumni magazine and helped us tell our stories and moments in the college's history. The Nancy Godwin Baldwin Award recognizes the class with the highest percentage of its members attending the reunion. The class of 1971 has won the award with 16% of its membership attending. Would the class of 71 please stand and be recognized? What? We will take a picture after convocation. As you all know, participation is just as important as the amount your class gives every year. Alumni participation is giving back to Sweetbriar. It's one of the many factors in rankings of colleges and universities in the United States. This year, the college has 2 awards for participation among reunion classes. The first award honors those classes celebrating their 5th through 20th year reunions. For 2020, the class among the 5th through the 20th reunions with the highest participation is the class of 2000 with 16.7% participation. For 2021, the class among the 5th through the 20th reunions with the highest participation is 2006, with 24.1% participation. Would those class leaders please come to the stage? Do we have, there we go. All right, Michelle, come on down, come on down. We'll get the photo. Gotta have the photo.
Wait a second. Kim, you want to come for 2000? Class of 2000.
Got one for class of 2000. Kim. Congratulations. There we go. Round of applause, please. The second participation award recognizes classes celebrating their 25th year reunion through their 50th year reunions. For 2020, the class that has earned this award is the class of 1970 with 41% participation. Here she comes again. All right, let's have a picture. Yay, congratulations. For 2021, the class that has earned this award is the class of 1996 with 46% participation. Come on down, Sarah Reedy. Congratulations.
Turn to the
The camera. Here, you all. Closing remarks. Huh? Is that it? Okay. As I've said before, it is critical for you to be engaged in our alma mater and to give to Sweetbriar each and every year for the foreseeable future through gifts of time, volunteering, wisdom, and additionally through financial support. Today, all of you here are witnessing a sea change in the operations and the care of our college. The stewardship of Sweetbriar rests now firmly in your hands. As we change the culture of engaging all of our alumni, we are buoyed by the level of support that you are giving. Also, in 2 of the last 3 years, Sweetbriar, as you have heard, was highlighted as one of the most innovative colleges in the country by U.S. News and World Report. This is truly a remarkable inflection point in where we find ourselves today. Philanthropy will be an integral component if we are to take our college to the next level. And you have heard me say it many times before, so I need not dwell, but let me be grateful. In the last 6 years, you have given selflessly in many ways through your volunteerism and your pocketbook that deserves a huge round of applause for all of you. Thank you so much. As you know, we have to continue our commitment and keep the promise. As we enter a campaign that you will all be hearing more about, we must all make Sweetbriar one of our top priorities, if not the top priority, as we continue to get our enrollment numbers up and that revenue rolling into the college to the levels where they should be. We have ambitious goals because that is who we are. We need all of you to spread the word. All classes that are here this weekend have done so much and celebrate so much this weekend as we are so proud of everything that we have done to date. As we chart a path forward towards a bright future and a vision that is truly resonating. The path to sustainability of our college in perpetuity is in our hands. Let's celebrate this moment in our history as we go forward. Please join us in engaging so many others in your classes to recommit to the future. Sweetbriar truly needs all of us. Have a great weekend with classmates and fellow alumni, and please know how much your support means to us, but more importantly, to women's leadership in America and abroad as we share the Sweetbriar story with everyone. Thank you and have a great day.
Lunch is going to be served up in the upper quad. And then at 2 o'clock, we hope you'll come and meet the rest of the president's cabinet and see who some of the other leaders of the college are. You know we have a tremendous leader in President Wu, but she's put together a wonderful leadership team, and you can ask them questions and get to know them a little bit better. So that'll be in the chapel. So anyway, thank you for being here. If we called your class for the Visionary Bowl and you want to come up and have your picture taken with the big bowl, come on up here and Cassie will be ready to do that. Thank you for being here today.